What's going on, everyone? Kick the field goal. That is what everyone is saying. That's what everyone is outraged about with Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions. And this is the problem with the analytics. And it's an issue plaguing the NFL, right? Everybody's going by the numbers. Everyone's trying to be big brain here. Everybody's trying to outsmart and out-strategize the opposition when I say all the time, sometimes the simplest answer is the best answer. And in this case, the simplest answer was you kick the field goal, you go up 3 scores, making it a 17-point game, and now you put all the pressure on the 49ers. You answer the field goal that the 49ers went down and got, and now the ball is in your corner, right? You have control of the game. But instead, what happens is you don't kick the field goal because the analytics say you go for it on 4th and 2. Dan Campbell and the Lions have been the number 1 team in the league when it comes to that stuff. Love to be aggressive and love to go for it. And what happens is you don't get it. The Niners go down, they score, and all of a sudden, momentum shifts, everything changes, and that's all she wrote. And it's a issue that is not just on Dan Campbell, but it's league-wide, right? You see so many times coaches and teams trying to, again, just seem like they're the smartest guy in the room rather than just understanding, hey, the game's been played a lot longer than the last 5 so years. And the team that usually wins does the simple things in order to get it done, right? If you do that and you kick the field goal and you win the game, right? You're the hero. No one's going to be like, man, he should have went for it on 4th and 2. But you don't kick that field goal. You lose the game. Now you're the guy that is, hailed as a martyr. Now everyone wants you gone. All Lions fans want him fired when he's completely turned the franchise around. And the issue is that that's something that Dan Campbell has built his entire tenure as a coach on, being that aggressive, overly aggressive at times. Look at the Cowboys game, right? You kick the extra point, boom, you're good. But no, you wanted to be aggressive, you wanted to win, and then even when things didn't go your way, what'd you do? You did it again. And didn't get it, now you lose that game. And, in his defense, he's stuck by his guns, right? He's a guy that has, no matter what, is going to make that call. And, conference, all of that stuff, he's going to say, I don't regret my decision. You do that. It's going to haunt him, right? To have that opportunity, to be in that position. Momentum is a real thing in all sports, especially football. But that's what the problem is, and the reason I don't think you can jump too much on Dan Campbell. And if you just let cooler heads prevail, right, for the next 6 weeks or whatever, Dan Campbell's going to be public enemy number 1. But I just think when cooler heads prevail, you got to look at it and go, well, the reason he is the way he is why everything turned around, is why you are in the position that you're in, is why things are the way that they are, right? You don't get to the 49ers and have the record that you have this season if it wasn't for Dan Campbell and his just over the top, gotta always go for it, gotta always press. That's the Detroit way, right? If it says go for it, we're going to be over aggressive. You saw it at his first ever press conference. If we fall, we're going to get back up and we're going to take out some kneecaps on the way and all that stuff. It's who Dan Campbell is. And for people to be shocked and surprised that he didn't do the simple thing, which is just kick the field goal. Again, that's what he's done his entire tenure. So, yes, it's frustrating. I don't have a dog in this fight, so I don't care, right? I'm pumped to see the Chiefs and the Niners, and it's going to be quite the interesting rodeo here, but it's just, I understand the frustrations. I understand the whole, you got to kick the field goal. You got to, kick the extra point. Don't go for two, right? Do the simple thing. I understand that. But personally, I just can't fault the guy when that's always been his MO. That's why you are where you are. It's why you got in this position. And when it works, you're a hero, right? You pick that up, you go down, you score 7. Now it's a 3-touchdown game, and you probably win this game. And again, your praise is the hero, your praise is the guy. That's it. But when you don't do that and you miss it, and then now you're in this position where it's like, momentum shifts, everything changes. Now you're the villain. Now you're the bad guy. Now everyone's looking at you like I don't care what you did the previous. I don't care what you did, 2 weeks ago. I care about what you did right now, right? When you make the big brain call and it pays off, everyone goes, man, the guy is smarter than everybody. That guy's the guy. But when you make the big brain call and it doesn't pay off, all of a sudden now you're the bad guy. Now you're the guy that made the mistake. Now you're the fall guy. You're a guy that thought you were the smartest in the room and you weren't. At the end of the day, this was a great game. Super competitive. I loved what we saw from both sides. I thought it was looking like the Lions were going to completely run away with that, and the Niners were going to be dead in the water, and you knew that they were a good team, right? You knew that the Niners, they're looked at as this powerhouse. They're looked at as this juggernaut. And kind of to tie into the aggressiveness of Dan Campbell, right? You can make an argument either way, right? One, you can make the argument you're playing the favorite, you're the underdog, you're on the road, you have an opportunity to go up 3 scores, you need to do that. But I believe you can make the same argument the other way, right? You're the underdog, you're on the road, be aggressive, and no one's expecting you to win either way. So be as aggressive as possible and get in a position to where you can basically put the game away. Again, sometimes, and I want to make it clear, sometimes you just got to make the right play. Sometimes you just got to do the simple thing. But this was a fun game. This was great. Even in the fourth, you had a little bit of back and forth, right? It was a game for the ages. This was a game that could have very well, just from a football fan perspective, this is a game that could have ended very quickly. And to have some competitiveness, I really enjoyed, genuinely. Credit Detroit, right? They have had an incredible season. They have really just exceeded all expectations, right? Jared Goff has been spectacular. They're going to be a force and a menace for quite some time. For them to be in the position that they're in and to be going into San Francisco, go up 17, have this kind of hard-fought back and forth. It was fun to watch. It really was. And look, they're not going anywhere. At least I don't think so. Sometimes you'll see a team that just overachieves, and then all of a sudden they will end up just never being able to replicate that. I don't think that's the case with the Lions, if I'm being honest. Again, that's just my thoughts. I think that they'll be right back here, or have the potential to be right back here. I wouldn't be shocked if they win a Super Bowl. They are good. They are a very good, very talented team. They fight hard. They don't quit. I believe that they have the right quarterback. I still believe in Dan Campbell as a coach. I still think that he's a guy that can get it done. And sometimes you got to take your lumps. Sometimes you gotta take your L's. Sometimes, it's how the cookie crumbles. And, the Niners, look, you get the rematch, get the Niners and the Chiefs. You get the showdown of the century, right? The powerhouse, or what many perceive as the powerhouse with the 49ers, now taking on the dynasty, which is the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be a Super Bowl. And look, the Niners, they didn't quit. They didn't lay down. They kept fighting. They kept pushing. Again, Lions gave them some benefits, but still, like, the Niners still had to hold up their end. And they did. They held up their end. They did what they needed to do. But again, I still personally, and again, this is just me, this is just my feelings, I still believe in Dan Campbell. I think that they can win a Super Bowl with Dan Campbell. I think that he is a good coach. I think what he's done for the Detroit Lions has been remarkable. I think this is a guy that, yes, I understand right now deserves the hate. I understand right now is going to get a ton of backlash, ton of criticism. Lion fans, again, are going to want him on a platter. But if you look at it, again, you get here because of the way that Dan Campbell is, because he's overly aggressive, because he does and continues to play the way that he plays. And he's constantly trying to push the button and push the issue. So I can't really get on him too much, personally. Again, it's my thoughts. As always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know yours down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you blame him? No, get rid of him. He's done. He's fired. He blew it. Do you think no? Look, it's the reason you got there. Do you think, are you somewhere in the middle where it's like, yes, it was a terrible decision, terrible play call, but sometimes you got to take your lumps. And that's kind of how, it's where I'm at, right? Was it the right play call? No. Again, sometimes you just need to do the simple thing. Sometimes the simple answer is the correct answer. Should have done the simple answer, should have done the correct answer. If you still lose, so be it, right? At least you did the right thing. You did everything that you had to do. You didn't give anybody a reason to point the finger at you, right? You coach the right way, you just take the L, right? So to me, I just look at it as like, this is a learning experience. This is a learning moment. And that might not be the one that you wanted to have, but it still is. And I think you take your lump, you learn from it, and you're better next year for it. But how do you feel? Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.